Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
So let's talk about now that I'm out.
Okay.
Those first couple months, I think were kind of hard.
Yeah.
I mean, they were hard. It seemed like right away it was like, oh, it's all this excitement, and then that excitement wore off.
Exactly.
And me and Melrose were really not clicking. And I mean, just I guess talk about that, what your perspective was. I know you stepped in and had a conversation with her, which I'm super grateful you did that. And it seems like things really turned around at that point. But I guess just talk about your point of view there.
Sure.
About me now releasing and being home and what that's looked like.
Okay. Well, when you came home, besides us being home because of COVID, we're doing school online. I had stepped back into a teaching position, so I'm teaching full time. We have lots of people coming over to greet you, to say hi to you. And so, yeah, it was pretty crazy those first couple weeks. I was physically and mentally exhausted. Yeah. Plus, we weren't going anywhere, couldn't go anywhere. So it did feel kind of crazy. And once like you said, the honeymoon stage wore off, then I could sense that Melrose was kind of like, okay, Dad is here.
And he is just in my space.
Yes.
And he is overbearing.
Yes. And, there were several times that I could tell, you'd come in the room, it was just you and I, and it's like, okay, he's got something on his mind. So I give you credit for that's been a big change that I've seen in you. Something's eating at you, let's sit down and talk about it. Mom, what can I do to help Melrose, include me, be a part of it? And something I pointed out early on, to be more mindful. Yes, it's easy for me because I've done it and I have that personality to just keep on doing like Morgan says.
But it wasn't working for me, so I was like, oh crap.
Right.
Like usually the same reason Melrose can make friends, I had that same ability or gift to just blend in and make friends. And as much as I hate to admit it, I want people to like me. And all of a sudden, here's my daughter who I want to like me more than anyone else in the world. And it wasn't coming natural.
Yes.
And I'm like,
right.
And it was painful.
It was. But she also needs to look at you as Dad. When people say, oh, my mom's my best friend, I always kind of go, but she's your mom or she's your dad. So she still needs to look at you as as her dad. So then something I had pointed out to you early on, like when I say it's 9 o'clock and it's bedtime and she's hanging out with you, you need to be mindful.
To set her up.
The clock says 9 o'clock. Oops. And sure enough, that very night, then you did say, hey, Melrose, it's 9 o'clock. Time to head upstairs.
Just 2 nights ago, she's like, no, we'll go till Grandma calls down. I said, no.
Exactly.
We're not gonna do that.
So those little kind of things will help her realize, oh, my dad's on the same page as Grandma. Okay, Grandma says 9 o'clock, Dad says 9 o'clock. I need to follow through with it. So some of those little things, but I think because you've been open enough to realize that, okay, something's not working, it isn't quite feeling natural, what can we do to make it better and to go.
And I think that I give that, to my recovery.
Yes.
And I've learned to talk about my feelings. I've learned to share my thoughts on the blog and in group meetings versus just burying them or turning to drugs, which I would do in the past. I just, screw it, I get drunk pre-trial. I just drink a lot.
And I think also with your recovery programming, when you ask those difficult questions, not to take it personally to heart and then get down about it. It's like, okay, good idea, good point. I'm gonna be mindful of that.
So what do you think now, moving forward? I mean, obviously COVID's made everything crazier. It's restricted what I can do. It's kept us in this tight area. I mean, we've adapted, but you can only think there's so many other families out there that haven't. Exactly. So
I mean, thank goodness we had summer, and we had a beautiful summer, and we were able to be out in our yard, and that boundary is sufficient for you, where you aren't confined to just inside the house. So that's helped. But because you aren't just able to go, oh, let's go up the street or let's take off, you know, and that's with all of us, because even Melrose and I, things that we used to do, now we have to go online and we have to sign up and we have to register, and then the times are filled. So it isn't as natural for us either. And I have noticed that her temperament's been a little owlier, so to speak, this fall. And, you know, she never, ever complained about school. And now this fall, a couple of times we've woken her up and she's, I don't want to go, or she'll make that comment about, I don't like school. And, you know, I'm just kind of like, what? You always love school, because she loves to be with her friends. But as we've talked about it, then she has said, well, we can't just get up and play, and we got to stay in our same space. So, you know, understanding that that's what she deals with all day at school, that confinement for her, I think it's really taken a toll on her emotions, because as soon as she's with her friends and she's up, her spirits just...
Oh yeah, she snaps back to everything's good. It's just she needs that reminder. And, you know, everything's turning around for Mel. She's got her mom in her life, you know, has had her mom in her life for a good amount of years now. I'm back. You know, we're all clicking together. I think it's a good balance for her. You know, she's got school during the week. She's got mom on weekends, and I think things are looking up. So I mean, for the families that maybe are new to our situation or going through what we've been through, I guess the biggest thing is just hang in there, do the best you can. Like my mom said, take advantage of the programs. Don't be too proud. If somebody offers to help out a little bit financially, don't be too proud to take it if you need it. If you don't need it, that's a different story. But if you're struggling, don't be afraid to let someone help you out a little bit. And the biggest thing is just, you know, communication. I think is the last one that we really touched on. Is that's been the biggest difference in our relationship. And I think because we've been able to have that, we've been able to overcome stuff with Melrose, which has made her situation a lot more pleasurable, I guess, or
and kids,
just happy.
All kids need a safe home, a comfortable home, a healthy home to live in, and when you give them those basics, they're going to thrive in the correct way.
All right. Thanks, Mom. Love you.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.